Dustin Johnson, hedger, Mike North, First Capital Ag. Dustin, I'm going to talk to you a little bit. Whenever you look at the world market, and I said we were going to come back, what's the first thing comes in your mind whenever you think about agriculture related at this point in time?
Well, just as far as it pertains to us, I would say the pretty poor exports and the dollar. You know, the dollar has been strengthening, definitely helping our exports a bit. But the corn side has just been so dismal this year, and that's definitely played a big part in those larger stocks that we saw. But more so, I wanted to get back to the corn number also on that fact. Basically, you know, falling tide sinks all ships, and the new crop corn is what we're most bearish on, because we do think that there's a chance for production to come back, and with those large acres, you know, we see you know, abundant supply. So no matter how you do the demand table, you take a few off of trendline yield, and you're still looking at a pretty big carryout, and I think that's actually affecting old crop corn as well.
We're talking about having a corn crop this next year, the largest since 1936 in terms of acres at this point in time. So we will be weather dependent. It may be a little early to talk about weather, but some guys would like to be planting and they're not. So that is weather at this point in time. So where do you think we're going to go at this point in time, Mike?
Well, I think
the next question is, what do we do now?
Yeah, well, you know, obviously weather is going to be the biggest trump card in the game this year, and if we end up with a dry summer, prices are going to go higher. If we end up with cooperative and conducive weather, prices are likely to go lower.
But if you're trying to market, you have to guess.
Well, but not necessarily. I mean, we know what the price is today, right?
Okay.
And so that's not a guess. We know that we have 530 corn staring us in the face. What do we do with that? Well, we know that in the, you know, as Dustin spelled out, we know if we end up with a normal year and the kind of, we don't need a trend line yield. We've done enough damage on the demand side of the balance sheet. We do not need a trend line yield. Bottom line is, if we end up with the kind of carryout that many people are expecting right now, we end up with $3.80 to $4 corn. And so $5.30 is a long way from $3.80, $4. So we can make sales on little rallies, and you should. Even though it's not $7, you should be selling some of this corn. Now, you don't have to get super aggressive because, again, we don't know what the weather is. And I can appreciate a guy that's sitting in Western Corn Belt saying, geez, I'm bone dry. I have a hard time selling. Fine. Go in there, get some put options bought, lay a floor underneath this market, allow the upside to come if it's going to come. It's not a guarantee. If it's going to come, allow it to happen. But don't be sitting here naked in the marketplace waiting for 7 and then end up getting 4.
You're managing your risk.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's what this is all about. This isn't about shooting darts. This is about managing risk. That's what it's all about.
And the other side of it is, if you're a producer, you need to get on the ball and do it now, not in the fall when you wish you had.
Yeah, I mean,
see, the last 3 years, guys have done pretty good if they didn't do anything until fall.
Yeah, we're conditioned to do that. You know, last 5 years in a row, we've been conditioned to wait, and those producers have, you know, made out that way. But to think that we cannot continue to go back down to the lower levels, you know, just by looking at the demand, I think we get into that pattern of thinking we're going to see that year after year after year, those low yields, and it's just we're conditioned as humans to expect what we've had in the last, short-term memory.
Producers generally will market this year's crop the way they think they should have marketed last year's crop. Unfortunately, we're in a year where this could transition us back to more normal weather patterns, more normal price patterns. And if you get caught in that, then you ultimately get left with that low price. And the more we know about this crop, the less it will likely be worth. So to wait, if drought is your answer to a higher price and we end up getting rain in the next few months, your whole marketing plan is shot. You've got to act now. You've got to take advantage of these prices.
I gave you 15 seconds to tell the producer what he ought to be doing right now. What would you tell him, Dustin?
I can agree with Mike more. You know, we want to be selling. Use the crop insurance as your most important hedge tool and be selling against those guaranteed bushels. Get a healthy level sold that if we do break another dollar, it won't be detrimental to your marketing plan, to your business.
That's with all crops.
Well, definitely for corn and soybeans, and wheat's coming around the corner, so we'll certainly have a better idea of what we've grown, and we'd be more aggressive on that.
Last word?
Yeah, I'd say I'd be making sales on rallies on all of those crops, and looking to get some puts underneath this to accompany the crop insurance that you do have.
Okay, you have the message. You got it right here from U.S. Farm Report.